Hello students, and welcome back to section 6. This is the section that we are going to repeat as this section was not visible on the original video. In this section we are going to learn the graphical methods of solving linear equation in two variables. Now before we start we need to understand how to plot a line. So let's assume I want to draw a line AB in which it has two distinct points A and B. So let's write down a point A here. This is A, this is B. Now, once I know both the points, I can draw a line just by keeping a scale and drawing a line. So, in order to draw a line, I need a minimum of 2 points. And similarly, in a graph, I need 2 points to get a line for any given equation. So, let's choose an equation. In this case, let's say I have x plus 3y is equals to 3. Now, as we have learned before, linear equation in two variables cannot be solved by one equation only. We need at least two equations with the same two unknown variables in those equations. But in this case, we have one equation. So what do we do? So we need to eliminate one variable. So when I have to eliminate one variable, I'm going to assume that one of the variables is 0. So let's say in this case, I have x is equals to 0. So once I have x is equals to 0, I only am left with 3y and the constant 3. So I have 0 plus 3y is equals to 3, which gives me 3y is equals to 3, which gives me y is equals to 1. Now, once I get this value, I'm going to draw a table for x comma y. So I have x, y, I have my x value as 0 and my y value because of it as 1. So I'm going to table that. This is 0, this is 1. So this is my first set of values. Now for my second set of values, I cannot choose my new set of values as x is equals to 0 or y is equals to 1 because it is going to give me the same result. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take y is equals to 0 in this particular case. So now I have y is equals to 0, that gives me x plus 3 into 0 is equals to 3, which is x plus 0 is equals to 3, which gives me x is equals to 3. So my second set of points is x is 3 and y is 0. Now we have received two set of points, and as we have learned before that we need a minimum of 2 points, but just to be safe I'm going to take a third point so that we can eliminate any kind of silly mistakes that we do make in calculations. So I have my third point here. I'm going to take x as minus 3. So when x is minus 3, I have minus 3 plus 3y is equals to 3. Minus 3 going on the right hand side, it becomes positive. So I have 3y is equals to 3 plus 3, which gives me 6y is equals to, 3y is equals to 2. 3y is equals to 6, which eventually gives me y is equals to 2. So now my new set of points is minus 3 and 2. Now once I've received all these points, I need to plot them on the graph. So I'm going to draw a graph on this side. So I have this is my positive x-axis, this is my negative y-axis, this is my positive y-axis, this is my negative x-axis. Before we start drawing a graph, make sure you mention the scales so that the examiner or whoever sees your solution understands what you're trying to represent on the graph. So we have to write x-axis 1 centimeter is equals to 1 unit and y-axis 1 centimeter is equals to 1 unit. Now back to the graph. I have to make sure I have equal amounts of units on both the axes. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now all of these are approximate values. Make sure you use your graph copies or graph pages whenever you solve graphical questions so that you get a perfect solution. Now back to plotting the graph. My first point is 0, 1. So I'm going to plot that 0, 1. So this is my first point. Now my second point is 3, 0. So this is plus 3 on the x-axis. So this is plus 3 and 0 on the y-axis. So this is my second point. And my third point is minus 3. So I need to go minus 3 on the negative x-axis. Sorry, 3 units on the negative x-axis and 2 units on the positive y-axis. So this is my third point. Once I get all the 3 points, all I have to do is join them by a single straight line. Approximately this is my line. I know my line has missed the last point, but you have all of your scales. You can use them to draw the perfect line. Once you draw this line, make sure you write down the equation below it. So I have x plus 3y is equals to 3. So this is my equation for this is my graph for one equation. Now we're going to plot a graph for second equation and see how we get the solution by using graphical method. Now let's say my second equation is x minus 2y is equals to 2. So similarly, as I can see, I only have one equation. I need to assume one of the values. So let's assume in our first case, x is equals to 0. So when x is 0, I have 0 when x is 0, I have 0 minus 2y is equals to 2, which gives me minus 2y is equals to 2, which gives me y is equals to minus 1. So now I need to table this. So I have x, y, x is 0, y is minus 1. X is 0 and y is minus 1. Now for my second step, I'm going to assume y is equals to 0. So that gives me x minus 2 times 0 is equals to 2, which gives me x minus 0 is equals to 2, and eventually I get x is equals to 2. So now I have x as 2 and y as 0. Now I have received 2 points. I need a third point to be sure. So we can take any point according to our choices. So let's say I want y as 1. So I'm going to write down y as 1 here. So y is equals to 1. That gives me x minus 2 into 1 is equals to 2, which is x minus 2 is equals to 2. Minus 2 goes on the right hand side. So this is x is equals to 2 plus 2, which gives me x is equals to 4. So now my third point is 4, 1. Now we're going to write down the points from the previous equation. My previous equation was x plus 3y is equals to 3, and my solution was x, y, x0, y1, x3, y0, and x minus 3, and y was 2. Just to be sure, we are going to check our solution. So we can see x0, y1, x3, y0, x minus 3, y2. Now back to our graph. Again, we draw the graph. This is positive x, negative y, negative x, and positive y. Again, we need to mention the scale here. In this case, I'm not going to write the scale. I hope you all understand that writing the scale is absolutely necessary. So this is scale. Make sure you write down the scale in your solutions. So now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to draw the graph of our previous equation just as it was. So we had 1, 0, we had, sorry, 0 comma 1, we had 3 comma 0, and we had minus 3 comma minus 2. So approximately this was our line. This is x plus 3y is equals to 3. Now we are going to plot a graph for our new equation, which is x minus 2y is equals to 2. So first point, x is 0, y is minus 1. So this is my first point. Y is negative 1, so we go towards the negative y-axis. The next point is x is 2 and y is 0, so x is plus 2, so we go in the positive x-axis. This is plus 2. And the third point is x is 4 and y is 1, so plus 4 and 1, we go here. This is my third point. Now we're going to draw this line. Now once we get this line, as we can see, this particular point is my point of intersection for both the lines. So this point, whatever it may be from the graph, is my solution for x comma y. In this case, it is approximately x is 5 by 2, x is 5 by 2, and y is approximately 1 by 2. This is my solution for this question. Just to be sure, we're going to solve this question by a different method, let's say substitution or elimination, and we are going to see what our solution is. So now we have x plus 3y is equals to 3 and x minus 2y is equals to 2. So this is my equation 1. This is my equation 2. From equation 2, I get x is equals to 2 plus 2y. I am going to substitute this value in the equation 1. Substitute x is equals to 2 plus 2y in equation 1. So I have 2 plus 2y is equals to, 2 plus 2y is equals to 3 minus 2y, minus 3y. We missed our plus 3y, so we're going to solve this again. I have x plus 2y. I have x is equals to 2 plus 2y, so 2 plus 2y plus 3y is equals to 3. That gives me 5y is equals to 3 minus 2, which is y is equals to 1 divided by 5. Now once I have y is equals to 1 by 5, I can substitute this in any of the equations and I'll get my solution. So now substituting y is equals to 1 by 5 in equation 2, that gives me x minus 2 into 1 by 5 is equals to 2, which implies x is equals to 2 plus 2 by 5. As minus 2 by 5 goes to the right hand side, the sign changes, so this becomes x is equals to 12 by 5. So now back to our solution. As we can see, my x value is 5 by 2. 5 by 2, when you solve it in terms of decimal, it is approximately 2.5, and from our solution we get x is equals to 2.4. So approximately our graph was correct. The reason I say approximately is because I do not have scale, I do not have the exact graph, therefore I cannot get the exact solution. But all of you are going to have graphs with you. Make sure you choose exact lines. I'll update the solution of this same question as a photo on your WhatsApp group so that you understand how to solve graphical questions. Now once I get x is equals to 12 by 5 and my y value is 1 by 5, we're going to check the value for y as 1 by 5 from our solution. We have y in our solution as 1 by 2, which is 0.5, and this value is 0.2. Again, approximately we are close to our answer, therefore we can understand how this is correct. Just to be sure, we are going to make a correction in our graph over here. So this solution becomes 12 by 5 and 1 by 5. Now the one thing that I missed here is I did not write the equation for this blue line. So make sure that whenever you draw a graph, you write equations below them so that you do not lose any kind of marks. Now this is, as we can see, this is an approximate graph. I'm going to draw a graph on actual graph page and I'll upload the solution on the WhatsApp group so that you understand how the graph actually is. I hope this was helpful from the previous section explanation, and hopefully we can continue in the same fashion. Thank you. This section will end now.